Hey everybody, Ryan here with Ray's latest, and today I want to talk about Fan Fest that happened this past weekend, as well as Garrett Clevenger is getting trade rumor talks and rumblings in the world of Major League Baseball. And also, Edwin Yesida, he's not playing the Baseball Classic anymore, but I'll get into that in a little bit. First, I want to talk about Fan Fest. So it happened on Valentine's Day this past Saturday. There was close to 50,000 free tickets were claimed for this event. Obviously, there wasn't 50,000 people there. It's usually held inside of the Trop. This year, they kind of held it as more of a block party thing outside. All 40 players on the 40 man made an appearance with players like Trey Morgan were posting on their stories of inside the Trop, kind of get that first feel, first look of the inside of the Trop looked like with the new panels on the roofing and things of that nature. And it was a huge success. CEO says it was fantastic, and the kind of the look around the area was people were just more excited to have the Rays back in Tampa Bay, and they were more excited about the ideal of baseball back in the area and kind of having this fan fest, people around, where obviously they have food and drinks and music and things of that nature. People just coming to hang out, have fun. They have the yard sales where they're selling memorabilia, they're selling old bobbleheads, they're selling jerseys, things of that nature. There's just a lot of stuff going on, and you kind of see those fan fests where it's just the fans of the team are coming out, they're having a good time, they're hanging out. It's pretty much just a big party. And even Neander goes out and says that, and he's like, yeah, in my 20 years of being with the Tampa Bay Rays, you hear a lot of talk about the Trop. But usually when you hear talk about the Trop, it's negative and it's what is this place not doing right and what is going wrong with it. But he said the talks of the town now, with what he hears, is people are talking about the Trop, but all of it's in a positive manner of I can't wait to see what it looks like. They're upgraded the video board. There's a lot of other intricacies and things of that nature that they fixed and then they've made better. And the talk of the town is Tropicana Field is something that I want to go to and is I'm excited to look at and I'm excited to watch a baseball game at. And I think that's just huge for the new ownership group. I think it's huge for the team. I think it's huge for everything in that nature of people are actually looking forward to going to Tropicana Field to watch baseball now. And I think that just kind of shuffling into 2026, that it's big for the Rays and it's big for the city of Tampa and it's big for the city of St. Petersburg in the fact that people are excited to watch baseball. And even it was just 1 year that there was no baseball in St. Pete, people are excited to have it back. And is that going to be short-lived? Is it going to be long-lived? Who knows? There's only one way to find out, and it's putting something good on the team on the field that people want to come watch. I think at the end of the day, that's kind of where that goes. I mean, and in past years, anyways, the Rays could be the best team in baseball, which they have been at some points over the past couple seasons. Nobody comes to watch us anyways. So I think it's going to be interesting to see kind of how the fan turnout shows from that. But just based on what I've seen from FanFest over this past weekend, people are excited about it and that they want to see the Rays in St. Pete, and a lot of them want them to stay in St. Pete. But we'll kind of get to that when we get there and where the new stadium arises from with the new ownership group. And we'll see. We'll kind of see how that everything transitions in that way. But the next thing I'll talk about is Garrett Clevenger is kind of getting a lot of trade rumors and trade talks about him over the past couple of days. And I think this is just primarily based on the fact that the left-handed free agent market is really bad at this moment. And I kind of went into it a couple days ago, maybe last week or so, in an episode where I was talking about our left-handed bullpen staff is very short. And having Clevenger, who's only on a $2.4 million contract with another year of club option, club control under him, it's one of those guys that brings a lot of value to teams that need left-handed relievers because you're paying a guy $2.4 million a year and he has 2 more years of club control, it's kind of a no-brainer to that aspect of I want to go get a guy like that. And I think that it's interesting to kind of see where he falls in the next couple of weeks because I wouldn't be surprised if he is a name that gets traded away. I would not be surprised to see Garrett Clevenger traded. I don't want it to happen because I believe that he's going to be a great arm in our bullpen. But I think if the price is right, and I think if teams kind of get towards the start of the season and they kind of start the spring training and they see that their left-handed options out of the bullpen are very slim, teams with title hopes and title contention are going to get a little more aggressive and they're going to give out a lot more than what I think they should, especially for a player like this. And I think if the offer's right, I think the deal should be done at that point. And the reason why I say that is because obviously we're kind of entering that middle rebuild mode where we are trying to compete, we're not trying to compete, we have the pieces to do it. And I do believe we truly have the pieces to do it. I think that our lineup is more than capable of producing runs, and I think our pitching staff is more than capable than from reducing runs to be scored. So I think that we have the ability to compete, but I think that like with any player in baseball, if the price is right, I think a move could be necessary. And I think with Clevenger in the past season, he had a 2.35 ERA with a 34% strikeout rate, 7% walk rate in 62 innings. Those are really good numbers. And I think from a left-hander reliever who kind of comes in short bunches when it comes to kind of the bulk amount of innings that are thrown in a season from a team, left-handed relievers kind of have a little bit of that. And I think other than the Aroldis Chapmans and people of that, the Josh Haders in the world, where you have those elite left-handed back end bullpen arms, it's slim to none anywhere else where you find those. And I think that being able to get a guy like Clevenger and only have to pay him $2.4 million a season with another year of club control, it gets a little interesting when it comes to that point. So I think that he could be a name that we're looking at here over the next couple of weeks of possibility of him being moved. And so I think that's he's definitely a guy to keep an eye out on and kind of see where he goes. And especially he'll be in the World Baseball Classic as well. So we'll see kind of how he goes from there. And if he has a good World Baseball Classic, his name could get a little more hot. And I think that that's one of those things you just got to keep an eye out on, see where it goes. But I would not be surprised if I saw him moved in the next couple of weeks at all. But the last thing I want to talk about is Edwin Uceta opts out of playing for the Dominican Republic in the World Baseball Classic, and it's said to be a little cranky right shoulder. And these are words directly from the clubhouse. So it was a little cranky right shoulder that both parties said became an issue when he took off for the 4 to 5 days when he went to Arizona for his hearing for his case. And Kevin Cash comes out and says it's a just much more precautionary move, and he's very confident that he'll be ready for the March 26th start of the season in St. Louis. And then he goes to say, "We're totally not concerned at all and have every intention of him being ready for opening day. I'm not worried." This is what USETA says. "I'm not worried. It's a matter of making a decision. Now it's just making that decision and getting ready for opening day and putting the team in the right position," is what USETA says in an interview this past week. It's not concerning to me. I think that him opting out of the World Baseball Classic does get a little interesting because it's one of those things where a lot of these players are a lot more concerned and intrigued with representing their country. And at the highest level in baseball, the World Baseball Classic, not opting out of representing your country to deal with something that's just a little cranky. It's interesting. Granted, the Rays are the people who pay his payroll. The Rays pay him money. The Rays set him up for financial freedom for the rest of his life. I understand. I get it. If they don't want you doing something, you're going to have a little bit more influence on not wanting to do that. That particular thing that you want to do, the people who write your paychecks tell you not to. Obviously, I get it. But I think that it comes to the point to where you say your shoulder's feeling a little upset. Baseball world, if you're not really familiar, elbows are one thing. Shoulders are a completely different game. If your shoulder's blown out, you're pretty much screwed for the rest of your career. And it's extremely hard to fix a messed up shoulder. So I think from that perspective of him knowing that if it's upsetting him a little now, pitching in high leverage situations very early in the year in mid-March, in early March, it's going to be a little concerning come mid-May and June. And then when you get into the dog days of August and September and hopefully October for the Tampa Bay Rays, I would much rather have him at a full 100% than playing with a messed up shoulder. And I think he knows that. I think the race staff knows that. And I think that being able to kind of say, look, I'm just going to let it rest. I'm not going to deal with it. Feels a little weird. That's okay. But I do think it's something that we should look at, and it's something that we need to monitor over the next couple of months, is kind of just see where he's at and see if it affects him pitching for the Tampa Bay Rays. Because at the end of the day, that's all that I care about is him being a great closer and great reliever for the Tampa Bay Rays. And don't get me wrong, would I love to see him compete in the World Baseball Classic for the DR? I would love to see him compete. I would love to see him play, represent his country, represent Tampa Bay at a national level. Not a national level, even a world level. I would love to see that. But at the end of the day, him deciding that it's best for him and best for the team to not play so he can focus on the regular season, I think is fantastic for us as Rays fans. And I think that if he can just mitigate whatever problems that he's having with that and kind of just get that under wraps going into the season, I think it's going to be great for us and it's going to be great for him. But you guys let me know what you guys think. Let me know if any of you guys went to FanFest. Tell me how that was and if it was great. And also kind of your thoughts on Clevenger's possibilities of being traded and any kind of thoughts and anything going on in your brain about the possibility of losing another left-handed arm and one of our best relief pitchers. But you guys have a great one.